Strat-O-Matic Excel Carryover League. Brought to you by the Shrimp Troll.
(1973 to 1976). Welcome back, baseball fans, to another opening day. And you know what? The final opening day matchup in the 1973-76 Carryover League. A battle between expansion teams, Seattle Mariners and Ohio Players. But you know, folks, it's been a long run of opening days and playing the first game of each series. And it's been a lot of fun because you get to see the aces of each team. So you get a pretty much guaranteed a well-pitched game, well-played game most of the time. And even if the level of competition isn't the greatest, they are often entertaining in their own. And that means we're not trying to pump up Seattle or Ohio to be anything more than what they are. Now, with that said, let's start with the home team. Ohio Players, as you can tell by the background music, their baseball team at least, has been pretty bad the last few years, but they have had a nice draft. They have reinforced a really rock-solid starting pitching staff. And they have improved. Well, what do you want to say? They've been improving incrementally, but it's just been very small increments. Seattle actually also improved their pitching staff, their bullpen, their defense. Almost like they're copying off of the Toronto Blue Jays, who've done that to make the playoffs once, maybe twice in the last 5 years when they didn't even exist in the early 70s. But Seattle's trying. Will it get them out of last place? Maybe. You got Texas and California, who are just sort of washing their hands out there, and Oakland, who's just kind of snickering at the level of competition they have out west. So Seattle and Ohio today, and the pitching matchup, and it's a nice battle of southpaws, folks. Seattle Mariners are going to send Ross Grimsley, nice left-handed pitcher of the Baltimore Orioles of 1974, an 18-game winner in 296 innings. Baltimore simply had too much. They had McNally, Cuellar. Eventually they flip over to McGregor, Flanagan, Tippy Martinez. And right in the middle is Ross. And so he was unprotected, and Mariners came down and said, hey, you're our ace. We need you. You're just window dressing in Baltimore, but you're a hot commodity here. We love you, Ross. So Ross Grimsley's in the Pacific Northwest. And the Ohio Players, the first player picked in the draft, 1976, Vida Blue. 18-game winner, 2.35 ERA, arguably the best pitcher in the year of 1976. And that should really help Ohio win a game or two, maybe three. Yeah. Seattle at Ohio. One of these teams will have a winning record when we're done this series. In the case of Seattle, if they win 2 games, they'll already be ahead of Oakland, who lost 3 out of 4 to Detroit. So that's an interesting story. Let's get started from Dayton, if you're wondering. Yes, it's not Columbus, or we know that Cincinnati and Cleveland already have their teams, so they don't want a second one. Like the Cincinnati Greens playing in Cincinnati with the Cincinnati Reds, that wouldn't have been any fun, right? Yeah, Dayton, Ohio, where the band came from. Seattle at Ohio. This should be an intriguing game. Leading off for Seattle is Bill North. 46 off of the Vida Blue card. 2 ex-Oakland A players, I might add. Double 1-9, base hit for Bill North. And also, I should be mentioning, if you're trying to beat Oakland out west, take a player off their roster. Bill North. That's a valuable little piece the Oakland A's don't have and the Mariners have. So that's step one of competing. Double A stealing North is aboard. Ike Brown is a +2 arm catcher. Actually, he's catching. I wouldn't necessarily call him a catcher, but that's the position. He's got shin guards and a face mask and a big fat glove on his left hand with padding on it. So we'll call him catching. North's taking off, and he's in there. Matty Alou, nice little number 2 hitter. 1-4, flies to right. Tom Paciorek, future Mariner, we could say. 56, short X. New shortstop, Ivan DeJesus is a 3. E20, and he makes the play. Last year, all they could do is have 4s at short for Ohio. And with 2 outs, it's Chris Arnold, a 296 hitter. 1-2, lines out, and the runner stranded. Bottom of the first. It's Pepe Mangual, a rookie on Ohio. 110, base hit center field. He is an ace stealer. Seattle also has a guy named Chris Arnold wearing shin guards and a chest protector, looking frighteningly at the mound, telling the pitcher, don't throw so hard it hurts my hands. But yeah, he's the catcher, your 4+2 E16 T1 to 20 extra player catcher that both teams are employing. So Mangual will dart down to second. Hey, wait a minute, folks. He rolls an 18 and gets cut down by the mighty Chris Arnold. Well, there you go. Arnold's most likely a middle infielder, by the way, but you just threw out a base runner, and a good one. All right, with 1 out now, you have Dave Cash. 43, left X. Out in left field, it's Paciorek. He's a 3-6 in left, and there's a base hit. Now, Dave Cash is going, that guy ain't throwing me out. You got another thing coming. He's running down to second base. This is going to be close. He's an A, so he's only a 15. +2 arms, 17. Yeah, he's safe. Runner at second, 1 out for Dan Driesen. 53, right X, out in right field. Jerry Morales, 3E3. And he surrenders a single. Well, it's getting sloppy early, folks. That's an RBI single, 1-0 Ohio. Driesen's a B stealer, but he'll stay at first because Ike Brown draws a lot of walks. So why run to second base when you can walk there? Ike Brown, 46. Off the Grimsley card, single 1 to 17 is a base hit. Ross is struggling here. Fortunately, a caught stealing will help. But we have 2 on after 4 straight singles, 1 run in, 1 out. And it's Bill Robinson, Bill Robinson, Bill Robinson. 2-5, let's take a look at the Bill Robinson card. Wow, Bill was a Philly in 73. And then later in the decade, he went to Pittsburgh, helped the Pirates win the World Series in 79. He was kind of a late bloomer, too. He didn't really start making an impact until he was like 28, 29. His early career was sidetracked. 288, 25 bombs for your 73 Phillies. Automatic here, 2-5. 3-run bomb for your Ohio players, folks. Remember, this is the worst team in the league. And they're up 4 runs already. George Hendrick, 48, second X, second baseman today, Al Gallagher. 4-24. He is the weakest defensive player they have. And he surrenders a single. Oh boy. Orlando Cepeda, 52, pops to third. And with 2 outs, it's Celerino Sanchez, 2-6, grounds to short. Well, nice finish for Ross after a disastrous start. 4-0, Ohio players, top of 2. It's John Ellis, 56, short X. DeJesus, 320, makes the play. Jerry Morales, 2-9, pops to first. And Danny Thompson, 1-7, pops to third. Bottom of the second, it's Ivan DeJesus. 5'11", short X. Shortstop is Danny Thompson, a 3-26. And a base hit. Now, come on, Seattle. Help old Ross out. Your defense is, yeah, come on. I mean, you're making Ross look bad here. Base hit. Back up top to Pepe Mangual. 2-4, and there's a 6-4-3 double play. So that's a good news. There's a case where Ivan DeJesus, known as a base stealer later in his career, is a D. He's still a D stealer now, so he had to stay at first, and that set up a double play. Good news for Grimsley. With 2 outs, Dave Cash. 46, single 1 to 17. But he rolls a 19, and the worm turns a little bit here in the second inning for the Ohio players. Top of the third, Al Gallagher. 34 pops to second. Number 9 hitter, John Vukovic. 34 pops to second. And back up top to Bill North. 1-3, flies to right field. Bottom of the third, it's Dan Driesen. 2-9, rolls to first. Ike Brown, 67, flies left. Bill Robinson. Pitcher X Grimsley is an E9. But he boots the ball. Ross kicked the ground ball there. 2 outs, George Hendrick. 110, rolls to short. 4-0 still into the fourth. Matielu, 38, is a base hit. D stealer now. That's a shame. He used to always be an A or B. He's 34 years old. Final year in the league, and I'll hit 296. Then he'll just go away. It's like, this dude could hit getting out of bed, you know. Couldn't throw for anything, but Tom Paciorek, 53, right X. Out in right field, you have Bill Robinson's at 211, makes the catch. Chris Arnold, 43, first X. Driessen. Driesen's a 219 at first base. That's a field's choice. And with 2 outs, John Ellis, 2-7, base hit center field. 2 on, 2 outs for Jerry Morales. 4-10, center X. And in center field, it's George Hendrick, a 2E5 in center. He makes the catch. 4-zip, bottom of the fourth. Orlando Cepeda, 110, flies left. Celerino Sanchez with a base hit. Ivan DeJesus, 1-4, flies to left. And with 2 outs, Pepe Mengual, 4-12, lines of short. Into the fifth, Danny Thompson. 1-3, pops to third. Al Gallagher, 3-6, double 1-3, base hit. John Vukovic, 2-9, a strikeout. And back up top to Bill North. 39, a walk. 2 on, 2 outs. Matielu. 66 off of Vida Blue is a pop to short. And Vida Blue delights the home crowd with 5 dazzling scoreless innings. Bottom of the fifth. Let's pause a moment for station identification.
This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel.
Este es el canal de videos de camaroneros.
It'll be Dave Cash leading off. 2-10's a single. A stealer, you know he's going to try it. As long as you have that weak catching arm. He steals second base. Dan Driesen. 66 off Grimsley's a base hit in the right field. Cash, 16 runner. -1 arm. He's going to run with nobody out, and he scores anyway. Probably not the smartest thing, but added a lead. 5-zip. Ike Brown, 110. Base hit, ... They're on the corners, and it's Bill Robinson. 1-3, right B question mark, and Driesen will tag up. 13, 14, 15 on a 14, and he scores. Ike Brown at first, 1 out for George Hendrick. 55, they are just hitting this Grimsley card. Triple 1-3, base hit, ... They're on the corners, 1 out. You got to bring the infield up to stem the damage a little bit. Orlando Cepeda, 2-7's a K. And with 2 outs are Celerino Sanchez, 57's a K. It's a 6-0 game into the 6th, and it's Paciorek leading off. 1-3 flies to right. Chris Arnold, 38's a K. John Ellis, 55, second X. Second baseman is Dave Cash, 2E22. Makes the play. Well, Seattle decided to improve their pitching and defense, and they've given up 6 runs and they haven't scored, so it is not working at all. Ohio has to be delighted to possibly have a winning record in 3 more innings. Ivan DeJesus, 210, rolls third. By the way, I should, probably hearing the wonderful news in the Fall League. If you just watched the Fall League World Series, which took place with a 1980 to 1983 card set carryover for the fall months, these Ohio players won the whole thing. That's right. They just held on to a lot of these really popular players and got them into their career years, and they won that Winter World Series, or the Super Series, beating the Phillies. So there you go. Worst team in one timeline, best team in another timeline. Stranger things, folks. Pepe Mengual. 1-6 is a walk. He's going to run. 13, he's safe. Dave Cash. 2-8, base hit right field. He's going to run. You hear that a lot. And he's safe. Dan Driesen, 2-3, pops the first. And with 2 outs, Ike Brown, 66. There's another single. 2 on 2 outs. Mercy. Bill Robinson. Short X. Danny Thompson. Give us some leather there, Danny. 36? 36? He does. 7-0 Ohio players. And, Ross, you can take the afternoon off. Get some rest, relax. 6 innings is fine in your tune-up, whatever you want to call it, for the year, the opening day start. 7-0 into the 7th. Jerry Morales. 57's a K. Danny Thompson, 47. Single. Al Gallagher, 49. Walks. 2 on, 1 out. John Vukovic, 39, is a 6-4-3 double play. Well, looks like early returns on the Vita Blue. Yep, that's the key. That was getting Vita Blue to be lights out. So you have a chance at least once every 4 days, and they're taking full advantage of this chance, not letting a equal or lesser team steal a victory from the proud Ohio players. Vita Blue is taking care of business. 7-0. 7th inning stretch time here. Of course, here we are. We got the Pleasure LP of 1972. Very is Love. Great stuff here. Our Love Has Died. Good stuff. Some of the songs are missing. Pleasure. What a discography. Put out a record every year, sometimes 2 records a year throughout the decade. Even started in the late 60s. Continued into the early 80s. Pretty much consistent or in synchronicity with the Carryover League timeline I play, which is from 1969 and 1984. That's a practical comparison of years for the Ohio players. All right. Bottom of the 7th, we took Grimsley out, had a tough day. They were all singles with the homer mixed in, but 7 runs is 7 runs. Let's go into the 7th inning. Let's get something optimistic going with Seattle. Let's go to this new pitcher, Stan Thomas. He was a draft pick. Stan Thomas, he was selected away from Cleveland. 4-4 with a 2.29 ERA in 106 innings in 1976. If you're wondering, Cleveland was unable to protect him because they protected Jim Kern. And Seattle swooped in, picked up a really capable reliever. Let's see how he pitches. George Hendrick. 6'10", center X. Your center fielder, William North, is 2'10". And he makes the catch. Orlando Cepeda, 67's okay. And Celerino Sanchez rolls a short. We go to the 8th inning for Vita Blue. Looking for us CGSO, perhaps. It's Bill North. 39's a walk. Matialou. 2-7 is a base hit through the hole where North was being held on. Now the shutout chances is shriveling up rapidly here. Runners on the corners. They are playing back for double play. Pachorik, 66. There's your sac fly to right field, and there goes your CGSO. 7-1. Run at first, 1 out for Chris Arnold. Let's take a look at this card. Chris Arnold. Nice little, you can catch and you can play the middle and the corner. And you hit 296, you got power, you can draw walks. What's not to like about this card? This is exactly the type of strat cards expansion teams need to find. Versatility, production, lacking, of course, in defensive quality. We understand that, but hang on. It's baby steps for these expansion teams. They have no farm system. They don't exist yet. Seattle and Toronto will probably start to improve by the time 1977 rolls around and they start getting some of their own guys. 1-7 for Arnold is a single to left field. 2 on, Vita Blue, that's his point of weakness. And losing a shutout, there's not really a gainful way of going for a complete game at this point. Let's get him out of there. Try to hang on to a 6-run lead with 5 outs to get. They're going to play this like it's a safe situation. Go to the righty setup and possibly their closer. They'll go to their setup guy, Larry Demiri. Larry was 7-5 and 115 innings for the Pirates in 1975 with a 2.90 ERA. The Pirates of the 70s are one of the biggest influences on why we have an expansion team called the Ohio Players in Ohio. So, based on the first all-black lineup was Pittsburgh in the 70s at every position. And so, Ohio is sort of building along those same lines. In an era where it was just a tremendous talent to get them assembled in one team that will eventually win a World Series. Well, it's going to take about 8 years to do it, and it won't be in the 70s anymore, but you get the idea. Larry Demiri comes on in the 8th inning, 2 on to face John Ellis. 64 catcher's X. Ike Brown, again, is a 40-16. Got to stay out of the error here. I'll give it the pass ball, that's fine. So that's a pass ball that scores a run. Makes it 7-2. A guy runs down to second base. You do record an out. And with 2 outs, it's Jerry Morales. 3-6 is a fly ball left field. All right, 7-2 game. We'll take Thomas out. He's kind of a ringer. We want to save him for more impactful situations. We'll go to Skip Pitlock. You know, at one point, Seattle Pilots, Seattle Mariners, we contemplated the expansion Seattle Skippers. We had Skip Pitlock, Skip Lockwood. You know, the Seattle Skippers. Get it? Get it? Anyway, Skip Pitlock was a White Sox in 74 with a 4.42 ERA. Skip Pitlock comes on in the 8th. He'll face DeJesus. 4-11 first X. First baseman, Ellis, 3-14. That's a base hit. Second hit of the day. For 184 hitting, Von DeJesus. Pepe Mangual, 4-4. A K. Dave Catch, 66. Another one. And with 2 outs, Dan Driesen, 64. Lines the third. 7-2 in the 9th. Demiri's going to come out, and actually this is going to be a little bit of a feel-good story here. We're not going to go to the closer with a big 5-run lead. We're going to go with a young rookie player. It's Mike Norris. And if you're wondering, yes, that world champion team I mentioned from 80-83, Mike Norris was the ace of that team, and he matched up with Steve Carlton in games 1, 4, and 7 of that World Series. Beat him every time. And so Mike Norris, here in 1976, he's just getting started. He's 4-5 with a 4.78 ERA in 96 innings. So yeah, it's going to take these guys a long time before they, get the ball rolling, as we would like to say in baseball. So 7-2 in the 9th. Mike Norris comes in. Stay out of trouble. Get 3 outs. Try not to give up too many runs. It'll be Danny Thompson. 67's a base hit. Al Gallagher, 42. Come back here to the mound. Fielder's choice. Batting for John Vukovic will be Glenn Adams. 5-10 is a walk. Didn't want to walk a guy with a 5-run lead. Back up top to Bill North. 1-6 is a K. And with 2 outs, Matty Alou. 2-3 rolls to short. And that is the end of the game. Ohio does win by a score of 7-2. Vita Blue beating Ross Grimsley. No save awarded, of course. 7-2 victory. Game 2 here in Ohio will be Lynn McLaughlin. Seattle will have Steve Busby. And then when we go to Seattle, I don't know if they're playing at Six Stadium or what's left of it once they pump out the water. Kingdom's not built yet, so I don't know where they're playing. But yeah, somewhere in Seattle. I think they're playing in Enumclaw on the fairgrounds, maybe. Game 3, it'll be Tom Bradley, recent acquisition for the Mariners. They got him off the White Sox in Game 3 against Rudy May of Ohio. And if there's a Game 4, Glenn Abbott. Another nice story. Another future Seattle Mariner, much like Tom Bachork is a future Seattle Mariner. He would pitch Game 4 if there is a Game 4 against Doc Ellis and the LSD no-no. Every time he records an out when he pitches, I go, you got a no-no going. Until he doesn't. But that's that. We'll give you the results of the games, so stay tuned. All right, folks, here's the box score. Game 1 you saw. Ohio players pulling away with their ace, Vita Blue. A 7-2 victory. What does Seattle do in Game 2? Can they get a road win in the series? And the answer is they do. Steve Busby versus Lynn McLaughlin in this one. Ohio strikes first, RBI single by George Hendrick. A bad second inning is all we can really put the blame to Lynn McLaughlin on. Single, triple, double, strikeout, single, sac fly, it's 3-1. In the 6th inning, Bill Robinson's solo homer makes it 3-2. Each closer comes on in the 9th in a 1-run game. Tom Hall gives up a RBI double to make it a 2-run lead. And things get interesting when presented with 2-run leads. Skip Lockwood gives up a walk and error. And then Ike Brown rolls power homer for a walk-off 3-run dinger. Except he doesn't have power, so it's a single. And then with the tie run at third, you get strikeout, ground out. And Skip Lockwood lucks out. And we get a 1-1 series tie. We go to Game 3. And Ohio, another rout, just like opening day, 8-2. Rudy May beats Tom Bradley. Rudy May, 8 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs. Bradley, former White Sox, they let him go. Probably a good move. 6 innings, 10 hits, 5 runs. Bullpen didn't help either. As in the 9th inning, George Hendrick, Carlos May had home runs. So in Game 4, can the Mariners make it a perfect series with each team winning and losing in each other's park? And the answer to Game 4 is no, because we have another 1-run game. Actually, it's funny. We had like a 5-run game, a 1-run game, a 5-run game, and a 1-run game, alternating. But Ohio gets this one as well. It's Doc Ellis, Glenn Abbott. A run early, Dave Cash RBI double. Then in the 7th inning, a single walk and a 2-run single by Larry Lentz, 3-zip. But give Seattle a little credit in the 8th, down 3-zip, an error, a single, a triple, and a run-scoring single. The game's tied in the hands of closer Tom Hall. And again, Skip Lockwood. This time, Lockwood gives up a homer on Orlando Cepeda's card. So that gives it a 4-3 lead, and Tom Hall goes 3 up and 3 down. Tale of two closers may have determined the outcome, but anyway, break up the Ohio players. The worst team in the league a year ago, drafting first. They start the new year with new fortune and optimism. They win the series 3-1. Thanks for checking this out. We'll see you next time.